There comes a moment in life when we realize, despite all our effort, all our planning, all our striving, we are not in control. We push, we pull, we force, and yet something feels missing. It's in that moment when we stop grasping and start allowing that the miraculous begins to unfold. Because here's the truth, when you allow God in, everything changes. I'm not talking about a religious concept. I'm talking about tapping into a field of intelligence that is greater than you, a force that has been orchestrating life itself since the beginning of time. When you shift your awareness from the mind's limitations to the heart's infinite potential, you align with this intelligence, and miracles become your new reality. The power of surrender. We are conditioned to believe that control equals safety, that if we just work harder, push more, and strategize better, we can force life to bend to our will. But have you noticed that the more you force, the more resistance you create? What if the answer isn't in control, but in surrender? What if the moment you let go, truly let go, life starts working for you instead of against you? Surrender is not weakness. It is the ultimate act of power. It's the moment you say, I don't have to do this alone. And in that space of trust, the miraculous begins. The science of faith. Faith is not blind optimism. It is a neurological and energetic shift. Science has shown that your thoughts and emotions create chemical reactions in your body. When you live in fear and doubt, your body produces stress hormones that reinforce a limited, survival-based reality. But when you choose faith, when you believe that something greater is moving through you, you literally rewire your brain. Your nervous system calms, your heart opens, and your body shifts into a state of healing and creation. Miracles aren't accidents. They are the byproduct of a mind and body aligned with divine intelligence. Rewiring the mind for the divine. Every day you have a choice to think in the same patterns of limitation or to reprogram your mind to receive the extraordinary. Your thoughts are electrical impulses that send signals into the quantum field. What you focus on, you amplify. If you want to invite the miraculous, you must train your mind to expect it, not in a vague, hopeful way, but in a deep, embodied knowing that miracles are your birthright. Tuning into the frequency of miracles. Everything in this universe operates on frequency. Love has a frequency. Gratitude has a frequency. Fear has a frequency. When you live in a state of love, gratitude, and trust, you elevate your vibration. You become a match for the extraordinary, and when you match the frequency of the miraculous becomes inevitable. Think about it. Have you ever had a moment where things just fell into place? Where the right person appeared, the right opportunity arrived, the right doors opened effortlessly? That wasn't luck. That was alignment. The heart-brain connection. The heart is more powerful than the mind. It has an electromagnetic field 60 times stronger than the brain. When you shift from living in the head, where fear, doubt, and analysis dominate, to living in the heart, you activate a force that extends beyond your physical body. When you live with an open heart, you don't have to chase miracles. You become the miracle. Living in the unknown. The greatest miracles don't happen in the known, they happen in the unknown. The mind wants predictability, but the divine works in the realm of infinite possibilities. If you truly want to experience the miraculous, you must be willing to step beyond your comfort zone, beyond what is safe, beyond what is predictable, into the space of the unknown. Because in that space, something greater takes over. And when that happens, life is no longer something you struggle to control. Life becomes a dance with the divine, a journey of unfolding miracles. So I leave you with this. Are you willing to let go? Are you willing to release control, to trust the unseen, to step into the unknown with faith? Because when you do, when you truly allow God in, miracles don't just happen. They become inevitable. This speech is crafted to be deeply transformative, blending spiritual wisdom with scientific insights in a way that resonates with those seeking real change. Let me know if you'd like any refinements. We are conditioned to believe that control equals safety, that if we just work harder, push more, and strategize better, we can force life to bend to our will. We hold on tightly, gripping our plans, our expectations, our timelines, because we fear what will happen if we let go. But what if the very act of holding on is what's blocking the miracles we seek? There is an intelligence greater than us, one that orchestrates the rise and fall of the tides, the beating of our hearts, the unfolding of a flower at just the right moment. This intelligence does not operate through force. It operates through flow. When we resist, when we grasp too tightly, we create friction against the natural rhythm of life. And in that friction, we experience struggle, frustration, and limitation. But the moment we surrender, something shifts. Surrender is not giving up, it is giving over. It is the conscious decision to release control and trust that there is a force working on our behalf, a force that knows the path far better than we do. When we stop trying to force outcomes and instead align with this intelligence, doors open where we saw walls, solutions emerge where we saw problems, and opportunities arise in ways we could never have planned. This is why surrender is the ultimate act of power. It requires faith. It requires us to step beyond our logical mind and trust that even when we can't see the next step, it is already being laid before us. And in that moment of true surrender, when we stop wrestling with life and allow the divine to move through us, we shift from struggle to flow, from resistance to ease, from limitation to the miraculous. Faith is often misunderstood. Many see it as wishful thinking, an abstract hope that things will somehow work out. But true faith is not passive. It is a force, a measurable energy that has the power to reshape both the mind and the body. Science is beginning to uncover what ancient wisdom has known for centuries, that what we believe influences our biology, our neurology, and the very fabric of our reality. Every thought we have generates a chemical response in the brain. When we live in fear, doubt, and uncertainty, our bodies flood with stress hormones, adrenaline and cortisol, that keep us locked in survival mode. In this state, our energy is drained, our immune system weakens, and our ability to perceive new possibilities narrows. We become prisoners of our past, repeating the same emotional patterns, unable to break free from the limitations of our current reality. But when we shift into faith, when we truly believe that something greater is guiding us, our entire physiology changes. The brain releases chemicals like serotonin and oxytocin, creating a state of balance and harmony in the body. The nervous system calms, the heart rate stabilizes, and we enter a state of coherence, where our thoughts, emotions, and energy align. This isn't just a spiritual concept, it's a scientific reality. The placebo effect alone is proof that belief can create physiological changes. People heal not because of a drug, but because they believe they will. When we cultivate faith, we are not ignoring reality, we are influencing it. We are rewiring our neural pathways to expect a greater outcome. And when we expect the miraculous, we begin to align with it. We become open to new possibilities. We see synchronicities where before there were none, and we move through life with a sense of ease rather than resistance. Faith is not just about hoping for a better future. It is about stepping into the certainty that a higher intelligence is already making that future a reality. Your mind is the lens through which you experience reality. Every thought you think, every belief you hold creates a neurological pathway, patterns that shape the way you see the world and determine what you expect from it. Most people live in a mental loop, replaying the same fears, the same doubts, the same limitations over and over again. They wake up in the morning and immediately recall who they were yesterday, what they worry about, what they lack, what went wrong, and by doing this, They unknowingly recreate the same reality day after day. But what if you could rewire your mind to think in alignment with the divine? What if, instead of repeating patterns of fear and limitation, you trained your brain to expect miracles? Science shows that the brain doesn't distinguish between a real event and one vividly imagined. When you meditate on gratitude, when you visualize a future filled with joy, abundance, and divine connection, your brain fires new neural circuits, begins to believe in a reality that has yet to unfold. And the more you reinforce these thoughts, the stronger those neural pathways become. Your thoughts are electric signals that send messages into the quantum field. If you constantly focus on stress and struggle, that is the frequency you project, and that is what life reflects back to you. But when you shift your mind to faith, trust, and divine alignment, you become a magnet for transformation. You start noticing opportunities you never saw before, feeling guided in ways that defy logic, and witnessing synchronicities that confirm you are on the right path. Rewiring the mind for the divine requires consistency. It means catching yourself when old doubts creep in and consciously choosing a new thought. It means spending time in silence, in meditation, in prayer. Not just asking for guidance, but creating the mental and emotional space to receive it. And most importantly, it means embodying the mindset of someone who already knows they are supported, already knows they are guided, already knows that miracles are a natural part of their life. Because the moment you think, feel, and act from this knowing, the divine has no choice but to meet you there. Everything in this universe operates on frequency. From the smallest atom to the vastness of galaxies, all matter vibrates at specific frequencies. Your thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are no different. They, too, emit an energetic signal that interacts with the world around you. And just like a radio station, you can only receive the broadcast that matches the frequency you are tuned into. Most people unknowingly stay locked into lower frequencies, the frequencies of fear, doubt, and limitation. They focus on what's missing, what's wrong, what could go wrong, and because energy follows attention, they continue to attract experiences that reinforce those very fears. It's not punishment, it's simply physics. You cannot live in the frequency of scarcity and expect to receive abundance. You cannot dwell in fear and expect to witness miracles. Miracles are not random events. They are the natural outcome of being in alignment with a higher frequency. Love, gratitude, joy, and faith, these are the vibrations that tune you into the extraordinary. When you consciously shift your emotional and mental state to these elevated frequencies, you begin to notice life unfolding in ways that defy logic. The right people show up at the right time. Doors open where there were once only walls. Seemingly impossible solutions present themselves effortlessly. The key is to cultivate these higher states intentionally. Gratitude is one of the fastest ways to elevate your frequency because it shifts your focus from what is lacking to what is already abundant. Meditation, prayer, and acts of kindness also raise your vibration, aligning you with divine intelligence. When you live in a state of appreciation, love, and trust, you don't just wish for miracles, you become a match for them. The universe is always responding to your energy. If you want to experience more miracles, you must ask yourself, what am I broadcasting? When you consciously choose to elevate your vibration, life begins to mirror that change. The miraculous is not something outside of you, it is something you tune into, and once you are on that frequency, miracles don't just happen occasionally, they become a way of life. The heart is far more than just a pump that circulates blood. It is a powerful energetic center that influences the brain, the body, and even the reality we experience. Science has shown that the heart generates an electromagnetic field that extends several feet beyond the body, and this field is not just a passive byproduct of biological function. It actively communicates with the brain, sending signals that shape our thoughts, emotions, and perceptions. Most people assume that the brain is in control, but in reality the heart sends more signals to the brain than the brain sends to the heart. When we experience emotions like love, gratitude, and joy, the heart enters a state of coherence, a smooth, rhythmic pattern that signals the brain to shift into a state of clarity and balance. But when we live in stress, fear, or anxiety, the heart's rhythm becomes erratic, sending chaotic signals to the brain. This disrupts our ability to think clearly, make wise decisions, and perceive opportunities. It locks us into a survival state where we react instead of respond, limiting our ability to receive insight, inspiration, and miracles. Tuning into the power of the heart means learning to shift from fear to love, from doubt to trust, from resistance to flow. Simple practices like deep breathing, meditation, and focusing on gratitude can bring the heart into coherence, creating a ripple effect throughout the body and mind. When the heart and brain are aligned, we become powerful receivers of divine intelligence. We notice synchronicities, we feel guided toward the right choices, and life begins to unfold with a sense of grace and ease. The heart is the bridge between the physical and the spiritual. When we learn to operate from the heart rather than just the mind, we step into a state of connection where we no longer chase miracles. Instead, we become magnets for them. The mind craves certainty. It wants to predict, control, and hold on to what is familiar because it equates the known with safety. This is why so many people stay stuck in the same patterns, repeating the same thoughts, making the same choices, and experiencing the same outcomes. But miracles don't happen in the known, they happen in the unknown, in the space where possibilities exist beyond what the logical mind can comprehend. Living in the unknown requires a shift in perspective. Instead of fearing uncertainty, we must embrace it as the birthplace of creation. The moment we step beyond our comfort zone, beyond what we think we know, we open ourselves to divine intelligence. This is where inspiration flows, synchronicities align, and opportunities emerge in ways we never could have planned. The challenge is that the unknown feels uncomfortable. It requires surrender, faith, and a willingness to trust that something greater is guiding us. When we resist, when we demand proof before we take action, we block the very miracles that are waiting for us. But when we lean in, when we take the leap before we see the net, life responds in ways that defy logic. Every transformation, every breakthrough, every miracle begins with a step into the unknown. It is the space where the old self dissolves and the new self is born. The key is to meet uncertainty with curiosity rather than fear, to view it not as something to be avoided, but as an invitation to expand. When we do this, we shift from living in survival mode to living in creation mode. And in creation mode, anything is possible. The unknown is where the divine operates. It is where infinite possibilities exist, waiting to be realized. When we stop clinging to what is familiar and allow ourselves to trust the unseen, we move beyond the limits of our past and into the realm of miracles. When you allow God in, miracles begin. There comes a moment in life when we realize that despite all our efforts, our planning, our striving, our attempts to control everything, we are not in charge. We push, we resist, we try to force outcomes, and yet we still feel stuck. But something profound happens when we stop grasping and start allowing, when we surrender control and make space for divine intelligence to move through us. Life begins to unfold in ways we never imagined. Miracles are not accidents. They are not reserved for the chosen few. They are the natural result of aligning ourselves with a higher frequency, a greater intelligence that is always available to us. But to experience miracles, we must be willing to shift from doubt to faith, from control to surrender, from fear to trust. Science now confirms what ancient wisdom has always known. Our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs are not just passive experiences, they shape our reality. When we hold on to fear, stress, and limitation, our body responds in kind, locking us into a state of survival where nothing new can emerge. But when we elevate our emotions, when we live in gratitude, love, and trust, we activate a state of coherence between the heart and brain. In this state, we are no longer merely reacting to life, we are creating it. We must train our minds to expect miracles. This does not mean hoping for good things while secretly bracing for disappointment. It means rewiring our thoughts to reflect the reality we want to experience rather than the limitations of our past. It means living in a frequency where the miraculous becomes not just possible but inevitable. To do this, we must embrace the unknown. Miracles do not happen in the predictable. They are born in the space beyond what we can see, beyond what we can plan, beyond what we can logically explain. The mind resists this space. It craves certainty. It seeks control. But the divine works in the realm of infinite possibilities, and if we truly want to experience transformation, we must be willing to step beyond the familiar and into the mystery. So the question is not whether miracles exist. The question is, are you open to receiving them? Are you willing to release control, to trust the unseen, to align yourself with the energy of creation rather than fear? Are you willing to surrender not in weakness but in power, knowing that when you let go, you allow something greater to take over? Because the moment you do, when you truly allow God in, life no longer has to be a struggle. It becomes a dance of synchronicities, a journey of divine unfolding. And in that space, miracles don't just happen, they become your new reality.